$1 million tiara. 4 decades in obscurity. 3 princesses who turned away from it. 1 queen who never wore it publicly. What secrets does this Cartier piece hold that the royal family so desperately concealed from the world? Why did Elizabeth II receive it as a gift, but never once appear in it before the public? What mystery lies within the platinum and 739 diamonds? And most importantly, why, when Kate Middleton finally wore this tiara, did she never touch it again? What really happened turns out to be far more captivating than any speculation. It all began with one woman, one evening, and a piece of jewelry that would change the destinies of 4 generations of the royal family. November 4th, 1936. London. Claridge's Hotel. A charity ball supporting the South London Women's Hospital. The Duchess of York enters the ballroom, and all eyes lock onto her head. She's wearing something extraordinary, a platinum tiara encrusted with diamonds, creating a halo effect around her face. 739 diamonds and 149 gemstones form a mesmerizing pattern of scrolls on a geometric band. This was their first ceremonial appearance after the lengthy court mourning for the late King George V, a moment of returning to public life, and the Duchess chose this very piece. Then something curious happened. Official documents state that the Duke of York acquired the tiara from Cartier on November 18, 1936. But how could that be? His wife had already appeared in it publicly 14 days earlier. A mystery? Not at all. Most likely November 18th was simply the date of final payment to Cartier. But the fact remains, the tiara already belonged to the royal family. Let's understand this step by step. In the summer of 1936, master craftsmen at the legendary House of Cartier created something special. Not pompous, not ostentatious, but exquisite. Platinum formed the foundation. Diamonds were arranged to create a halo effect, a luminous ring of light. Hence the name, the halo tiara. The English called it halo, meaning the same thing. Sometimes it was called the scroll tiara because of the large scroll work in its design. The piece was comparatively small, not massive. But therein lay all its charm. The tiara didn't overpower, it enhanced. Elegance instead of grandeur. The Duke of York chose it for his wife, Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon. At that moment, no one could have guessed that very soon their lives would turn upside down. And here a new character enters our story. 1936 became a turning point. King Edward VIII abdicated the throne for love of a divorced American woman, Wallis Simpson. The Duke of York unexpectedly became King George VI, and his wife, Queen Elizabeth, from Duchess to Queen in a single day. In the early years of her reign, the new Queen was occasionally photographed in the halo tiara. November 1937 captured her at a special performance of Macbeth at the Old Vic Theatre. The event supported the Centenary Fund for King's College Hospital. The Queen wore coronation earrings, pearls, and naturally that very tiara. But that's not all. Despite the beauty of the piece, Queen Elizabeth didn't wear it as often as one might expect. She had other, more substantial tiaras better suited to royal status. The halo tiara was too delicate, too modest for a woman on the throne. The real turning point came later. Spring 1944. The world engulfed in conflict. Britain living under harsh wartime conditions. Buying anything luxurious was nearly impossible. But an important date approached. The 18th birthday of Princess Elizabeth, the elder daughter of the royal couple. April 11th, 1944. Queen Elizabeth writes a letter to Queen Mary, her mother-in-law. I'm giving Lilibet my little diamond tiara for her 18th birthday, and Bertie is giving her a small bracelet to wear now. It's nearly impossible to buy anything good, but he may find something second-hand. Lilibet, the home nickname for Princess Elizabeth. Bertie, King George VI. April 21, 1944, the princess turned 18. Photographs captured the important moment. She stands with her parents, wearing the badge of the Grenadier Guards on her chest, while her mother's hat displays a diamond thistle brooch. And now the most interesting part. Young Princess Elizabeth never appeared publicly in her birthday tiara. Not once. She simply had no opportunities. The conflict dictated its own rules. Ceremonial appearances were rare, and a tiara of this caliber seemed inappropriate during those harsh times. So who actually wore this piece? The next owner changed the fate of the jewel. Princess Margaret, Elizabeth's younger sister, first appeared in the halo tiara in September 1948. The occasion was significant, the inauguration of Queen Juliana of the Netherlands. 18-year-old Margaret looked stunning. The tiara fit the young princess perfectly in size and style. 5 years later, the main event in her elder sister's life occurred. June 1953, the coronation of Elizabeth II, the moment when Princess becomes Queen. And on this historic day, Princess Margaret again wears the halo tiara. Photographs show her sitting in a carriage beside the Queen Mother on the way to Westminster Abbey. Documents reveal an unexpected turn. Margaret loved this tiara. She wore it regularly until her marriage to Anthony Armstrong Jones, and occasionally after. April 1958 captured the princess at a dinner marking the 40th anniversary of the Royal Air Force at Fighter Command Headquarters in Stanmore. On her head shone that same halo tiara. After Margaret's wedding, she moved to larger pieces. For example, the mighty Poltimore tiara. This made sense. A married princess required more commanding regalia. And here we approach the main point. A decade later, the situation changed. October 1967, the state opening of Parliament. A young woman appears in the hall wearing the halo tiara. This is Princess Anne, daughter of Queen Elizabeth II. Her first public appearance in a tiara. The 17-year-old princess looks elegant and regal. March 1970 brought new photographs, a royal tour of New Zealand. Princess Anne accompanies her parents and elder brother. At official events, she again wears the halo tiara. The piece became her signature for several years. But that's not all. Like Princess Margaret before her, Anne eventually moved to larger options. Her own festoon tiara, her grandmother's meander bandeau, the interesting aquamarine pineapple flower tiara, all purchased by that same King George VI from that same Cartier for his wife. So what became of the halo tiara? It went into royal storage. Years passed one after another. Decades accumulated into obscurity. The piece that had passed through the hands of 3 princesses lay in darkness, awaiting its moment. The most important part was yet to come. April 29, 2011. The entire world held its breath. Kate Middleton, an ordinary girl from a regular family, marries Prince William, the future King of Great Britain. Westminster Abbey. Millions of viewers at their screens. Cameras focused on the bride, and on her head, the halo tiara. After so many years of obscurity, the piece returned to life. Queen Elizabeth II loaned it to her future granddaughter-in-law for the most important day of her life. The choice was no accident. So what's the real story? Kate Middleton wanted her royal role based on the image of the late Queen Mother, that very Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon, the first owner of the tiara, a woman who was also a commoner before becoming queen. The symbolism of the choice was obvious to those in the know. The key moment came in the details. Kate also wore special earrings. Their basic form echoed the scroll motif of the halo tiara, but the design incorporated a diamond acorn, an element from the Middleton family coat of arms. Thus, the bride united symbols of her birth family and her married family. Records from that time show that Kate wore these earrings occasionally throughout the 11 years following the wedding, but the tiara itself, no one saw it on her again. The Duchess of Cambridge, who later became Princess of Wales, chose another piece as her signature: Queen Mary's Lover's Knot tiara. What happened to the tiara after the royal wedding? It returned to the shadows, but this time not into complete obscurity. The tiara appeared at exhibitions, for example, at the major Cartier exposition in 2018 in Canberra, Australia. Visitors could see the legendary piece, touch history with their gaze. Expert valuation surprised many. $1 million, an impressive sum, but not astronomical by royal regalia standards. The tiara's value lay not so much in material cost as in its history. 4 generations, 5 women, nearly 90 years. Then something interesting happened. The halo tiara always remained a piece for young princesses. Princess Margaret wore it before marriage. Princess Anne, likewise. Kate Middleton wore it only once, on the day of her transformation from commoner to member of the royal family. A pattern repeats. The tiara seems destined for transitional moments, for new beginnings, for youth and hope. And here a new character enters our story. Princess Charlotte, daughter of Prince William and Kate Middleton, granddaughter of future King Charles, great-granddaughter of Elizabeth II, a girl in whose veins flows royal blood, but who was born in an era when the monarchy is changing, becoming closer to the people. Will she become the next owner of the halo tiara? Will she wear this piece at her coming of age or wedding? Will she continue the tradition begun by her great-great-grandmother nearly 90 years ago? Let's look at the facts. The tiara remains in the royal collection. It doesn't belong personally to the king or queen. It's part of the national heritage, passed down with the crown. Each monarch decides who may borrow which pieces. When Princess Charlotte reaches the appropriate age, her father, by then King William, or her grandfather, King Charles, will make the decision. The story of the halo tiara is a story about how one piece can connect generations. From Elizabeth Bowes Lyon, who wore it as Duchess and Queen, through her daughter Elizabeth II, who gifted it but never wore it, through granddaughter Margaret and great-granddaughter Anne, both of whom made the tiara part of their image, to Kate Middleton, who used it as a symbol of transition into new life. The piece survived conflict, the change of eras, the transformation of the monarchy from an untouchable institution into a modern family. 739 diamonds and 149 gemstones continue to shine, awaiting the next chapter of their story. The halo tiara isn't the most expensive, not the largest, not the most famous in the royal collection, but therein lies its power. It remains a piece for special moments, for beginnings, for young hearts entering the world of royal duties. And perhaps very soon we'll see how the platinum halo with diamonds will shine on the head of a little princess who will become the next link in the chain of generations connected by one tiara, one story, one tradition. The truth proved far more beautiful than any speculation. No curse, no secrets, just a touching story of a piece carefully passed from one generation to another. The tiara didn't hide from the world. It patiently waited for its moment. Each princess wore it during the most important period of her life, then passed it to the next, like a relay of youth and hope. Isn't it remarkable how one piece can connect entire generations? If you enjoyed learning the real story, give this video a heart. Click the red subscribe button so you won't miss new stories of royal treasures. And what secrets do other monarchs' jewels conceal? That's coming very soon. Thank you for staying with me until the end.